Cool. Well, thank you guys for coming out today. I do appreciate the fact that you took the time out of your busy Monday to come and check out the AI to AI event sponsored by MMA and Cochran Films. So I am Mouse, owner of Marketing Mousetrap Agency is what it stands for. And then we have Cody, which is my partner, and he takes care of
development and project management.
Awesome. He's the brains behind the technology. I'm the connector, bringing people to the table, the systems like we're supposed to. So MMA, that's what MMA does. We utilize systems to help create custom systems, SaaS system. System as a science is what it's called, but I say solutions as a service. So allowing people to plug in their way of thinking into a system that can actually funnel out the people that are not the target audience, but also funnel in the people that they are. So that way, whatever your weaknesses are, the system does it for you versus you trying to figure out, let me be a marketer. I'm not really a salesperson. Oh, maybe I'm not really good at accounting. Whatever the case might be, you come to MMA and we take care of the system aspect of it. So it filters all that work out and it focuses on what you do as a barber or a salon owner for the people that are in the room that are doing those particular fields. That's what we're catering to help get AI to AI, automated intelligence to automatic income. And everybody loves automatic income. If we can live off of autopilot, I mean auto pay, we would love it.
And like Mouse said, we're essentially like a click funnel system. So if you've ever heard of click funnels,
Correct.
That's what we are, but we're even deeper. Before I get into that, I just wanted to preface with that, what you were saying, because I know we've all heard of click funnel, so that's something you can relate to. Like you said, my name is Cody. I represent Cochran Films. I'm the developer and project manager. I think me and Mouse, we met like 2-3 years ago
Correct.
in Vegas, and
For CES.
CES, yeah, and we actually had no idea that this is what we were going to do. We kind of just talked, and we had a little bit of a vision after talking to each other for like 2 or 3 hours one night, just sitting down and talking, and we realized we had a lot in common. And like he said, he's a people person, and he's good at that. And I do like people, but I'm the nerd side, and I'm good at developing. So that's what I stick to. I stick to what I know. Like you said, my name's Cody. I've been doing this technology thing, you could say, for over 6 years. I was actually teaching people when I was 14 years old how to build a website with Adobe Dreamweaver and stuff. I've just always had a love for it ever since I picked up a camera, ever since I picked up a computer. That was just my thing. Started a business officially in 2020. It was under the following year in 2021. It was under Backend FX. We kind of combined our two names. And long story short, after that, left the business partner about 4 years later. Started Cochran Films because I went to Full Sail University, and they told us that even if you have a business with a partner, essentially you need to have your own brand. You need to be a personal brand. That way, if anything goes awry, you have a backup plan. You don't want to be caught in a business where it's just you and a partner, and now all of a sudden it's no partner, and your business has failed because of that. So I decided I wanted to start Cochran Films. So I was always building it while I was in school. I graduated last summer from Full Sail University. And I decided I want to take it all the way. So instead of just film, now I do full stack development, websites, applications for your phone, on-site printing, photography, film, anything in the web service you could think of. That's what I do.
Awesome.
Oh, you got a mic, my dog.
So as you can see, you have a marketer, been in merchandising for over 20 plus years. So doing branded items and all that stuff is really simple for me. But you have a marketer tapped into merchandising and then tags with media, which is what the exposure side of things, being able to take the experiences that you create behind the scenes, put it in front of a platform, and then utilize that to bring into your audience, your target market back into your marketplace, and then they go through the systems to funnel in and funnel out. So it's a very unique experience, and it can be used across the boards. But tonight we're talking about barbers and salon owners because, like I said before, everybody loves automated income, and being able to generate that on an auto chair is filled with your calendar is filled with appointments, from appointments to appointments to appointments, and all you got to do is produce and stay in your lane. Everybody wins.
Yep. And before we break down a little bit more about who we are, I just want to introduce you to our team a little bit more. So right now we have a data engineer who just graduated from New Haven University, and she's working as our back-end data development engineer, where she will be essentially setting up all the databases that we need, making sure they're running properly, making sure all the API endpoints are correct, making sure that essentially when you go to the website, it don't shut down.
Right. Exactly.
So that's what she's on the team to do, and we're looking for more of her. And anyone who's willing to be a developer, we got to build a team. We know that as much as I can do, I can only do so much. So it's going to take a team. And she's on for right now for I think 3 to 4 months, and hopefully after that we'll be able to hire her full time if things go well. But go ahead.
I was saying this show.
Yeah, exactly.
And things going down. I didn't mean to cut you off, Cody.
No,
like people experience AWS. Didn't know that their website was associated with AWS until it went down and they realized, oh wow, why can't I sign into my banking app? Why can't I sign into my website? Why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? Well, you didn't think that Amazon was just into packaging. They're also into data centers.
Mm-hmm.
So it really opened up people's eyes to how much these big conglomerates are tapping into stuff that we use every day that we didn't know that they owned.
Yep. So, and AWS, if you don't know, is Amazon Web Services. Yeah.
Yes.
So Amazon Web Services, they host their own data center where essentially if you're a business, you can host on their data center server. And if it goes down, what are you? You're out.
Right.
You're out. And I remember he called me at like 3 something in the morning. He said, hey, our website's down. I'm like, well, I haven't touched it. What's going on? It was up yesterday.
Right.
And I go to look, it's down. AWS is down. I think Snapchat, which is just what I remember, that was down. Some banks were down. A lot of people lost money just because they went down. And I say all that to say that you got to own your intellectual property. You got to own it. Like we have the cameras, we have the media, we have the development team, we have the brains, we have the skills. So if you just put it all together and you own your stuff and you don't essentially count on AWS to not go down, because it will, and you got to have a backup plan. And people weren't prepared and they didn't know it was coming.
True.
Did you all know y'all was on AWS?
No idea.
I mean, how would you know if your website on AWS?
See, and that's the scary part is you
don't know
if you're running your website on other people's platform. Like for instance, we have a platform we use called Vercel, which inevitably we didn't know was hosted on AWS. So when Vercel went down, we went down, and that's what could happen is you aren't even using AWS, but you are, and you don't even know it.
Domino effect.
Yeah.
You don't know who you're connected to until it's time to know who you're connected to.
Exactly.
So those different things to know is definitely important.
So if you guys build us a website, where is it hosted at?
That's a very good question. So our goal is to host it in multiple places. So like AWS will be one it's hosted at. GitHub will be another place that it's hosted at. There's a few more that I'm blanking on right now, but essentially our goal is to have 3 to 4 backups so that if one goes down, it's not going to go down all at once. And our top goal, which may be 6 months, maybe 2-3 years from now, is to have our own data center. So that we run how things run at that point.
Treat it as a mutual fund, diverse across the board.
Is it like an extra charge to be hosted on multiple sites like that?
It just depends on so GitHub's total free, so that's one. And then if you do AWS, they charge because they know how you're hosting your site. For instance, if you have multiple logins, multiple people storing files on your site, like a profile picture, they're not going to charge you like you would a Google storage service where it's like $9.99 a month per terabyte. They're not going to keep doing that. They're going to charge you like pennies on the dollar because they're having so many people upload so many files that they're still able to achieve that. And they know that if they were to charge you like per se a terabyte for $10, they're not going to get away with that because they're just going to make a fortune. That would be impossible. That'd be a monopoly at that point.
Yes.
I don't know you can host on many different sites, different hosts.
Yeah. So you have what's known as a redundancy, and I can't necessarily explain to you right now the technical side of domain redundancy and how it goes, but essentially you have all files hosted on one site, all files hosted on another site. That way, when that site goes down, you basically just kick into gear the other server, and it's like it never went down.
Right.
Yeah.
Seamless on the front facing, but the back
end is where you come in. Yeah.
And that's why you need people like Pyro.
At one time, it was redirected to some old crazy stuff.
Yeah, and that can happen too. So it's like you wanna always have a team. As much as AI, you got to have that human intervention at some point.
Correct.
So that you notice, like you just said, it wasn't necessarily down, but it was rerouting to something crazy. So you got to call somebody. Hey, check that. That's not right. We don't want that rerouting there.
Facts. So yes, she's part of the team doing what she does best.
Yep.
You
And
don't,
we was hoping to fly her in tonight. She's from Chicago, but
whoop, whoop.
yeah, that
The
would have been a little price right there. So AI driven SAS and how it works. SAS stands for software as a service. And these are essentially just tools that help you sell your services
Correct.
with AI automatically.
Right.
So essentially someone would go onto your website, it'd be under your own branding, your own logo, and they would fill out a form, whether it be a lead generation form,
Right.
whether it be an invoice creation. What else? You could send out automated emails. Essentially, this is just so that you don't have to touch it,
Right.
and it just works automatically.
Great for introverts. Great for introverts. Don't want to deal with people.
What's that?
Zapier?
Yes, Zapier. Yep,
Correct.
Zapier would be one. As a barber, there's I keep forgetting Squire.
Squire,
Does anybody
right.
use Squire? Know what Squire? So Squire is essentially someone has built a SaaS system
Right.
that they sell to multiple people, and you use it for $30 a month. Plus, it's like I think, was it 2%, 3% per
Yeah.
charge? Yeah,
Right.
something like that. So essentially, every month they get a fee from you.
Right.
They charge your customer a fee for using the platform. So it's like $4 for me to even use it from you.
Correct.
And then they're charging an extra 2%. So by the time you add all that up, especially if you're in a salon and you're getting $300, $400, $500, $600 hair, that adds up quick. And that's money if they're able to just go down tomorrow and you're down, that's not fair.
Right.
You've been paying them this whole time. Why should you be down just because they had a hiccup?
Correct. So yeah, that can be a problem over time. So understanding those fees and understanding where your money is going, and the reality of it is to keep as much money as possible in your pocketbook, and utilize those funds for other things that can help with specifically marketing, because that's the biggest thing that a lot of people do not do in business is they focus on setting up their LLC and their C corp or their S corp or their partnership programs, and they spend all their money up front on that. People about their business, hey, I'm launching this, I'm that. They have no dollars.
Yep.
So they need to come out and get with an invested land and be like, hey, I need some marketing dollars, or I need some of this, or I need some of that. So it's really just a strategic approach of how to keep as much money in your pocket as possible, so that way you can be functional.
And as we know, as CEOs, if this isn't the field you're actually in, you don't have a lot of time to sit down and learn it. And even if you have the time to sit down and learn it, I'm finding that I'm not having enough time to implement it. So
Right,
I'm having to
right.
get team to do other stuff so that I can sit down and actually work on the website, work on people's systems. So that's why it's important to find a team. But SAS systems, what they're good for is unique brand identity. So a platform like Squire, they're going to have Squire all over it.
Correct.
Anything they have is their brand colors. Any layout they have is going to be their layout. Any tools they have is only their tools they offer. And then they're going to charge you a fee for that. You also get full data ownership. So as much as it seemed to have worked for a while, even if it's working right, they own your data, essentially.
Right.
They could say they don't. They could give you a privacy policy and say, we don't, sell your data or none of that. But who are you to know if they do or not?
Sure.
Plus, as I was telling Mouse before we started, they're not going to send you a CSV sheet with all of your data before, you hit the road. They're going to be like, oh, and by the way, here's every one of your, you're going to have to probably go and screenshot and figure out how to get all that yourself before you kick rocks with Squire. And then there's another one called Fresha. Fresha charges you 20%,
Right.
a 20%
Salon
sale
owners.
to run on their platform. I mean, that's robbery. That's robbery. I wouldn't pay 20%. So, but like you asked earlier, don't it cost to be on most of these platforms? The good part about doing stuff yourself is always finding ways to do it cheaper and free. If you have them doing it, they're always going to find the way for it to be cheaper and free for them
Right.
and charge you. But if you're running the show now, especially if you're a business owner of the shop, that's where it's best to get the system made, because then you can be the Squire. You could then use your platform to allow your barbers to
Right.
use it and use your own platform to pay you profit monthly, just like Squire.
Correct.
But
Be like a chair fee.
yeah, exactly, like a chair fee.
Incorporating
Yep,
your chair fee, the people renting out your chairs, their
exactly.
chair to do work in your shop. So therefore, one package, boom. Here's a chair fee. Here's the marketing. Here's everything all in one.
Yep, and that would be known as white label service, where essentially we build the service
Right.
and you run it as your own,
Correct.
with your own label, with your own logo and all that.
Facts.
mentioned this already, tailored customization tools. So if you go on our website, in fact, this is one of them. This is called the Exposure to Your Website's Fatal Weakness tool. This is the interactive website analysis where you can go and enter your website here, and it'll use OpenAI to run through a whole analysis of your website, tell you what's wrong with it, your SEO, your heading tags, and then it'll give you a complete battle plan on the services we offer and what we think would be best for your website. And it'll send you a entire code to your entire email to you with a score, what your score was, and it'll break down exactly what it told you and why that matters and why it's important. And here's what you need to change immediately. Here's what's not so important. But I say all that to say this is a tool that I built with AI for our website.
Correct. It definitely shows, and you can use websites that are just been around for a while. Like I purposely use Target. I purposely use Walmart just to see the vulnerabilities and see what a big corporation, what their vulnerabilities are, to see, okay, well, they're having issues right here and they're a big corporation making millions upon trillions of dollars. What is the local business owner going to be going into? You know, what are some of the opportunities that they can utilize, and we can actually cover that for them and make it part of the package.
Yep. And what's good about this is, like I said, this is a complete custom tool. So like he come up with the idea and I just said, okay, well, that'd be cool to do that. Code it, make sure it worked right, and then give it a design. And it's as simple as that. He comes up with the idea. Okay, we need that. Bam, 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 done. I created like this whole entire site. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it. When you do, check it out. Marketing Mousetrap Agency.com was created through AI. The entire website. From function to design to backend to coding to SEO, the entire website.
Correct. And so you can imagine where this is going if you just think about just the future of where this is going from AI as a business model. You have prior people like Cody, you got maybe 10, 15 developers running 20, 30 machines at one time. And that's the company where they're just inputting, changing, modifying user front end, user back end, and just extrapolate that when it comes to just the amount of data that you need to be put in, but someone to monitor that. And just all it is just, okay, mathematical formulas, okay, that code is off. Change that, done. Change that, done. But AI is gonna, as much as data as we input into it, it's like the old movie, Little Shop of Horrors. Feed me, Seymour, feed me. That's exactly what you're doing. You're feeding AI, and AI is just learning. While we're sleeping, it's learning more and more and more based off of the internet, because it never sleeps, the traffic of how all of this stuff interconnects. Oh, you know what? We need a CRM over here. Before we need the CRM, AI has already built the CRM.
Yep.
Client Relationship Manager. So, because we get into a world of acronyms and sometimes we don't articulate what they are.
It's starting to get out of this control.
But that actually happened to us, where we were going to implement a CRM, and our system already made it, because it recognized, hey, based off the pattern, the way they're thinking,
they're going to need a CRM.
So now we need to check to see how we can incorporate that. So AI is doing the stuff that we're not thinking about, because it's trying to get to a place called there, which is a thing that I always talk about. Everybody in this room has a place called there. I don't know where there is, but my job is to help you get to there and do it automatically and do it consistently.
And profitably.
And profitably, of course, because the name of the game is eating, and you can only eat when you got money.
Yep.
Whether it's digital or paper, you need it.
Yep. And that brings us to the last point, which is zero commission fees. So I say zero because, again, if you're the business owner who owns the system and you're making profit from it, it's not just zero, it's a profitable gain.
Right.
The zero commission fees, like I said, you can always find free hosting or pennies on the dollar hosting. It depends how involved you got. Like the website we have right here costs what, like 15, 20 bucks a month to run. And there's multiple tools inside of there. Multiple tools. And that's like a business website. That's not even just one thing. There's services being sold in there. So you got e-commerce, multiple things. But yeah, you can always find either free hosting or pennies on the dollar hosting. So it could be zero commission. Or if you're the business owner, you can always find a way to flip this and do what I call basically is outsourcing your white label, where you go to somebody and say, this is what they need. And you come to us. Can you white label me a service?
Right.
Cool. There you go.
Which is very common for a lot of people. And that's the reason why a lot of people don't know they're associated with AWS platforms and different things of the sort.
Exactly.
Because it's just, pass the buck on here, pass the buck, pass the buck, pass the buck. And finally somebody does the work.
Yep.
So internally, we'll be doing the work.
So like I said, platforms like Fresha can charge anywhere up to, and does charge 20% a month. So you're talking about an average haircut about $40, and you're talking about $20 per haircut. So if you just cut 30 haircuts a month, which that's one a day, that's not happening. So if you just cut 30 haircuts a month, that's $240 you're losing monthly just on the system. And that's if you're using a Fresha. Of course, they have other platforms. Like I said, why can I remember Squire? That's such a weird name, Squire. And they have the $30 a month set with the 2%. But inevitably, you want to avoid these fees because, as you can see, as you go up the ladder, $100 color session, you get 30 of those. You're talking $600 lost profit monthly. And by the time you have bought your system, by the end of the year, you've done paid for it, and then you're going to continue paying for fees and continue paying for fees. And we know that it's only going to go up. Like I have had Wix now for, I think, 5 years now. And if you don't know, Wix is a website building platform. And ever since I started, I swear, at 15 a month. It went to 20. I was at 25. For like a year, it went to 30. Now they're $40 a month for one platform. And I don't even sell anything on there. I'm like, this is just ridiculous. Like, so once I figured this out, my goal right now is to find the time to implement it, but learn while I go. And sorry, this thing's slow.
It's all good. It's part of the process.
All right, and we're here now.
Right.
I think you said you wanted someone to do a demo with us.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to get some pain points. I mean,
Yes, let's do that.
We are talking about barber salons and barber owners. The reality of is what some of the pain points that